So here we are again at Leerburg with questions that customers have sent in for Michael Ellis. Michael's here, we're producing some videos, and we're going to do some of these Q&As. This one is from Miguel. My question is, I'm interested in either protection sport training or even Schutzhund. My concern with doing so is that I still want my dog to be friendly and a family pet, as I have 2 children, 2 and 1 years old. And I'm wondering if awakening the aggressiveness through training would change his good temperament at home. Any advice and or suggestions would be greatly appreciated.
This is a very good question and unfortunately a complicated question, but I'll wade in and give it a shot. Schutzhund is a protection sport, so all the protection sports are very similar in nature in terms of what we're asking of the dog temperamentally. So there are very little difference. Schutzhund is just another one of the protection sports. The issue comes if your dog has sound temperament. The work will not change your dog's temperament. The protection work will not change that dog's temperament. The issue is with how the work is done and how your dog is brought out in the protection work. So if you're training with trainers that are using a lot of defensive aggression to access the biting part of the sport, and they're stressing the dog through defensive aggression, making the dog feel it needs to protect itself to bite, then you run the risk that that dog learns to bite under stress, and that it learns that it's appropriate to cope with stress by biting, which could carry over to everyday situations. If somebody surprises your dog, scares your dog in some fashion, your dog has now learned that the appropriate response to that stressful feeling is to act aggressively. So you have to be more careful with that. In general, protection work gives the dog an appropriate outlet for what should be natural drives in that dog. And it channels the dog and puts it in a specific place. So the dog, I think, is less likely to bite other people away from those situations when you're doing that training. But how the training is done is very important. And poorly done protection work can absolutely make the dog more dangerous away from the field. So you have to be very cautious about the people you employ to help you with that work, to make sure that they're not putting the dog under too much stress and forcing the dog to bite out of defensive aggression.
Good one.